So it is Friday morning. I have not vlogged half of the things I wanted to vlog. I have not blogged half of the things I wanted to blog. And I don't even know where to go from here. Sometimes I get so full of art that I make nothing and wind up like becoming like stuck in it. So what I really need to do is clean up my kitchen really well, because my kitchen is also my art room, and I need to start painting because I have too much art stuck in me right now. Nothing's happening. Starting my day with a magic juice. I really like these juices. The grapefruit is totally growing on me. I'm gonna try to make something for breakfast, but I'm out of eggs. I'm out of like all of the staple items because I can't go to the grocery store because I don't have a vehicle that I can use during the rain, and it's been raining for days. So hopefully I'll be going to the grocery store this evening to pick up some like necessary items to cook with so that we can have some yummy foods. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, all right, oh, coffee. That's what I'm showing you guys. So I'm sitting on the couch and I'm telling myself, you just gotta get up and do something. You can't spend your day this way, right? And I'm like, what am I gonna do? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to paint. The kids have school, but they're still sleeping, and it's actually Fridays are scheduled to be so easy, so it's not like a big deal. So I'm like, what am I gonna do, right? Like, and I think to myself, the first thing you're gonna do is figure out how cold it is, because I'm freezing and I'm not moving off this couch because I can't move. I'm so cold. So I look on my phone to see what temperature it is outside. It's 47 degrees. So I go look at my thermostat in my house. It's 60 degrees. I'm like, yeah, it's cold. So I turn on the heater and I turn on space heaters. I don't like the heater being low in the house. I mean, being high. Yeah, anyway. So I turned on, that's a me back there. Spooky. Anyway, I turned on some heaters, space heaters, and I'm warming this joint up. And I don't know if you could tell, but I feel more alive. So that's gotta be a good thing. My wife got this for me while we were grocery shopping, so I'm gonna have it now. Fancy doctored broth and a boiled egg for lunch. Delicious. Guys, okay, so something that I've been working on, and I think I've got it pretty good, is turnip fries. I know that sounds pretty ridiculous, and I had actually never eaten turnips before. One of my wings has rubbed off, but this one's still pretty. I hate to kill a good wing. Anyway, so I was looking for fry alternatives because I love French fries. So I was like, okay, what can we use? What kind of vegetables? And then I got turnips in my weekly delivery. So I decided to bake them, because you can bake them like a potato. And I was like, well, if you can bake them like a potato, you could probably fake French fry them like a potato. Oh yeah. So that's what we're about to do right now together. And I will be filming it as I do. Okay, so first things first, you're going to have your turnip. This is a really big turnip, if you can see how big it is compared to my hand. It is a root vegetable, so you're going to want to wash it, clean it up, make it all pretty before you use it. We are going to peel it, but you still don't want to have a lot of dirt because then it's going to get on it when you're moving it around. So I'm going to go chop off the head. Well, first I'm going to wash him, then I'm going to chop off the head, and we're going to peel him. Okay, so we have our turnip. I feel like maybe I should put you on the other side. Hold on. All right, let's try that. So we're gonna cut off his head. I am using this big guy, and he's gonna make nice long French fry, like traditional French fry shape, but the ones I used before were smaller. They were like this big, and I just kind of made them the same way, and they kind of came out like small potato wedges. So, all right, so you're gonna cut off the top, and I'm gonna cut off his butt, and then I'm gonna peel him. And you know, I like to challenge myself to see how long of one peel I can go. I don't know if anybody else does that, but turnips are harder than like potatoes and apples. Apples are really easy to get one long peel. It's so fun. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and peel him like I am. And I'm just gonna kind of, these areas that are kind of rough, I go over them a couple of times just to get the big rough spot out, just because that's no fun to bite into. You don't want a weird French fry or turnip fry, I don't know. So I'm gonna peel him up. Oh, this is getting ridiculous. Those areas, that's what I'm talking about, where you get a lot of like the rough spots. I go over those a couple times just to, you can use it, go ahead. Just to smooth it out, because that way, I mean, I'm already doing it. I don't need to go back and chop up the thing and look for all the rough spots and chop them off. You want to, if you want to, you can do that beforehand, like get all that removed with a knife. I think peeling is more fun than knives. I'm less likely to chop into my hand, though I have peeled my thumb before, so. Alright, get them nice and clean. And I have a mess right there. We're going to pretend it's not there. And then we're just going to cut him up into a fry shape, as close to a normal, you know, type of fry shape as you can. I'm going to start by cutting him in half because he's giant and a lot to deal with. Okay, so we have the first half cut. I'm just going to show them to you before I go on to the next one. And you just kind of want them to be pretty close. He's a little skinny, but you know, pretty close to the same size. That way, when you're cooking them, they're gonna cook at the same temperature, and I mean, you know, you won't have, like, these guys are gonna get crispy. There's kind of no way around that. I guess you could cook them separately if you wanted to. I feel like, hey, snack on a crispy guy and get over it, because they're just like, what, 3 or 4 of them, so whatever. But just keep it as pretty uniform as you want. If you want to go skinnier and more fry-like, you can. Like if you want to cut those guys in half again. But then you risk some of them, like more of them burning. The bigger, like this size is kind of the best size that I've come up with so far, as far as thickness. And it's okay for them to be longer and shorter. You want the thickness to be about the same, because that's what's going to take the longest, like, to get through. If you cut them skinny, and another guy fat, then the fat guy is not going to be done, and the skinny guy is going to be cooked up all crispy. So, okay. So when you're done, and I'm not, clearly, but we're going to pretend that I'm doing just this half. When you're done, you're going to take, I have just a clear kitchen bag. You can use a Ziploc bag, and you could use a bowl if you wanted to. I just find this the easiest way to do it. You put them in your little bag, and then you take out this is a half of a teaspoon, and I'm going to use it twice, your olive oil. Oh, look, olive oil. And I've been using this more. I used to kind of hate the idea of it, and I still don't think you need as much as people call for, and I still don't think you need it all the time, but I am being more generous with my olive oil consumption. So we're going to put 1 whole teaspoon in, so that's 2 of these, because this is a half. And then I am going to take the bag, close it up, and shake. And just smush it all around. Hold on, let it get more air so it's kind of more of a, yeah. And shake, see that? And the goal is to get it completely covered, so. Okay, this is where what I'm about to do is going to differ from what you're about to do if you don't have a NuWave. And if you don't have a NuWave, you should seriously consider getting one, because it makes fake frying stuff and cooking in general so easy and so good. Okay. So I have my well oiled, and that's what I've been working out. Like, I've been trying to go through the recipe from like the minimum amount of oil to like the maximum amount of oil. Like, you do need a certain amount of olive oil on them to really coat them so that they will cook up crispy like French fries. So you have it all oiled. If you don't have a NuWave or a rack like this that you're gonna air fry on, then when you you're gonna want to line your pan with tin foil and crunch it. And the reason you're crunching it is because you're making like little mountains and valleys, and then you're gonna spray it with nonstick, and it's gonna sit up on top of all the mountains, and the air is gonna travel through the valleys, and you're gonna get a crisp all around heat. It's gonna really help things be crispy on both sides and not just on the top side. So you're gonna take your French fries and just place them on. Now these are, like I said, they're more oily than most things I would usually do, but it's 1 teaspoon worth of oil per serving. So it's worth it, considering the fact that you're saving fat and calories on the potatoes by using turnips. How crazy. So you're just gonna go ahead, and I'm not gonna like forward zoom you through time because my hands are full of grease, which means you have to sit here and watch me do this. Just bear with me. For the seasoning, I am going to use a garlic pepper seasoning, which I love for these. I like fries with a little bit of zest. You can use just straight up salt. You can use nature seasoning. You can use a no salt seasoning blend. You know, whatever you like, however you want them to taste. They kind of become flavorless. Like, I've never eaten a turnip any other way, to be quite honest with you. So I don't know if turnips are flavorless or if this method makes them flavorless, but they are kind of flavorless. So if you don't use the like a seasoning on them, you don't really want them touching. If you don't use a seasoning on them and you don't use ketchup, you're gonna kind of have like a bland, could be kind of smushy French fry type of deal happening. Alright, I'm going to stand these guys on their end so I have a little bit of room. Alright, so there we go. They're all laid out in one layer. And now, sorry about that. I didn't really plan ahead on the fact that my fingers were going to be so greasy. So now what I do is I take my garlic pepper seasoning, and it has salt, sugar, garlic, black pepper, and tricalcium phosphate. I sounded smart just now, didn't I? I thought I was gonna mess that up. Anyway, I put it in my hand, and this is because I like to sprinkle onto my food with my hand. I feel like it gives me more control about where it goes. Like, instead of just blindly sprinkling and just like, you know, not really being sure about where it's winding up, I like that. I feel like it gives me more control. Did you say something, babe? Okay. I like a lot of seasoning on my fries. Don't steal that turnip. I dropped 2 pieces and the dogs are at my feet. Okay, now, if you're using a NuWave, you are going to put that hood on and turn it on and let it cook for 20 minutes. If you're using an oven, and this is the part where I kind of suck and I apologize, because I haven't done it in the oven, to be honest. If you're using an oven, you're going to want it at 425, 415 or 425. I would do 425. And you're probably going to want them in there. You're going to want to turn them halfway through. I would do 12 minutes, turn them, and then watch them at around the 10-minute mark. Because when they start browning up, you just want to pull them out. So that's, I'm about to close these up. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, so there's some golden brown turnip fries. And they are going to be delish. Dinner is a 2-ounce turkey burger on wheat French. Topped, it's an Italian flavored turkey, so like, well, that's what's in it. So I put a little bit of mozzarella and red sauce on it to make it kind of like a meatball sub, and ketchup with turnip fries. Yay! And finally tonight is some small curd, low fat cottage cheese for a nighttime snack.